Alright, so I thought that I would go through the steps of creating a listing for a book that is not on Amazon at all. So I have this book. This is, if you can see that, it's a book published by the government of Venezuela in 1981 about a territorial dispute between Guyana and Venezuela. And it has a fold-out map, some text. So I'm going to be using this as the example, and this is the, if you can see that, it's a bilingual library of technical librarianship. So it's got a lot of the vocabulary that a bookseller would use to figure out what the so-called points are for a book like this. This is not exactly for book selling, but it's about as close a reference book as I'm going to be able to find. So what I'm going to do first is, and you can't see this, of course, and maybe later I'll try and edit in some screenshots, but I'm going to Amazon Advanced Search before, just to be double sure that there is not a listing for this book already. QIBA. And in fact, if this would work a little quicker, maybe I should quit out of Spotify, but in fact Spotify is not running. Alright, so there is no listing, so I'm going to cut and paste what I typed in, and we're going to go in a different tab, and we're going to go to the different tab. We're going to go to WorldCat. And this book has a publication date of 1981. So once WorldCat loads, we're going to go to Advanced Search in WorldCat and paste in the title and leave the year open because WorldCat is a little squirrely about the year. And actually nothing's coming up. Let's back it off a bit, and because sometimes, especially with these government publications, and especially with non-English language, the title is not always what you see on the cover. That there might be some naming convention that was used by the GPO of Venezuela that, in fact, is the real title. So let's see, or be part of the real title. So we got Guyana Esquiva as the keyword for this search. Now, very little, I'll tell you, very little information is out there about this issue. Did I spell it wrong? In fact, I did. Okay, hold on. I am such a gringo with this. My Spanish is terrible. My Spanish is atrocious. All right. You know what it is? I spelled it wrong the last time I did, and I left the same poor spelling in there. But let's see if we do this. No. Okay, so it is, as far as we can tell, not on Amazon. So we're looking for 1981. You know, this could have only gotten to press in 1982. It does say 81. But that doesn't mean that it was the year of the publication. That could have been the year they finished compiling it. We're going to 81. And there it is. Publisher Caracas, Editorial Arte. All right. And, you know, you would think that something so obscure that there's no listing for it on Amazon, that when you create the listing, it doesn't go. It just sits. And that's true and that's not true. I mean, I have things on the shelves over here that have been sitting for years. Certainly since I began creating listings. However, there was an instance where I had an edition of the Popol Vuh, which is this book that was written by I believe, Aztec scribes in the early colonial period about their recent history or their recent mythology at that time. And this particular edition, somebody actually traveled down to Guatemala and to the state library there to look at, if not the original copy, he was certainly working from the original microfilms of it. And this actually has scans of those microfilms, this book that I'm talking about. I created the listing at about 11:30 a.m. and I guess it was, maybe 2.5 hours later, somebody purchased it. So somebody must have been waiting, because that must have been a Google alert that they had up for that particular edition of that book, for it to show up that quickly, or it was just a wild coincidence. In any case, that's not what this book is. So, Reclamation de la Guyana Essequiba, Documentos, 1962-1981. So we're going to just cut and paste. Well, let's see. To create a listing, we got to go to this link. And the trick with this is to put in as much information as you can, because then there's more data available for someone searching Amazon or someone using some other search engine to then find it. Sometimes it's more challenging than other times. I mean, these when it's a language I don't speak, it's challenging, but then again, it's less challenging because I can only go so far with it. So let's see. To create a listing, we go, let's see. You go to add a product, and this loads. I wish I knew how to do video editing too. I would edit some of these videos a bit. But let's see. Create new product. And of course, it's in no way a new product. It's new to Amazon. Well, it's new to me, really, but certainly new to Amazon. And that's all they're worried about. All right, so we cut and paste title, publication date. Of course, they want you to capitalize all the words. I think de la, I'm going to leave lowercase, 1981. And let's see if somebody has gotten an ISBN number for this book, and it appears not to have gotten an ISBN number. But let's go into some of these other files for it. Let's see. It's got a slightly different publisher, but it is this is third edition. It could be a third edition. Let's see, someone in the Netherlands? I don't know where. I mean, these larger libraries are working off of OCLC, so it's possible they have some knowledge of the edition of this, which I do not have. OCLC is more of a pay service. WorldCat is the cheap public service of it. So we're going to put third. Binding is paperback. Whoop-de. Wait, did that wrong. Paperback. Probably this is part of some kind of series, but let's see. If it's got anything about that, I don't see it. Author is a corporate author. It's Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores. Publisher is no publisher listed in that entry on WorldCat. There's really only 2 proper entries in WorldCat for this book. And the publisher is in this other entry, whereas editorial arte. which could as easily be a print shop. But those are not fast and those are not rather hard and fast definitions in other parts of the world. Hence the this thing, but I'm not seeing a lot of terminology that I need it for. Sort of a just in case thing. So let's see, publisher, paste, no ISBN, offer. I'm going to say things like this. Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't pay a lot for it. It's foreign language, so I generally try not to. To gouge people on this. But on the other hand, it is going to be the only one on Amazon. So I generally go with 17. 17 is a nice even figure. For me anyway, it seems like an even figure. So what we're going to do, $17, quantity 1, tax code, I mean, you know, you're probably bored. Tax code is books general, because it's just sort of your general sort of book. Next is images. So to get the images up there, we're going to scan this. I'll tell you, my computer has been so slow lately, I'm not sure why. I mean, yeah, I don't know what it is. And how many minutes are we on this video? 11, that's not so bad. Burp, I didn't want to burp right at you. I mean, that's the other thing. Usually when I'm sitting here in front of the computer, I'm doing all kinds of gross stuff that I don't want on the internet. All right, so we squeeze that in. And, you know, kind of a monochrome cover. So we're going to try and just make it look a little livelier. I'm going to up the contrast a bit. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So we're going to save the image. Desktop, no. Cancel. Then is 2, because I had another book also published by the Venezuelan government printing office just a few days back. And usually when I see that, because of course I'm going to the same place to get these, usually that means that a collection belonging to someone somehow connected to either the Venezuelan consulate in New York City, or someone just with an interest of that, or a university professor has parted with their collection of books and brought a lot of them down to this big bookstore in New York City. Some of them find their way onto the shelves inside the store. Some of it filters outside, and some of that I pick up and, you know, put onto Amazon. Description, keyword, Venezuela Guyana, British Guyana, and let's see, what's the Guyana Esquiva. And who knows, I mean, Chavez may have put this kind of thing on a back burner for the time being and wanting to have better relations with Guyana. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But, I don't know, it's not something it's the kind of thing I used to, I guess, when I was younger, follow more closely. now that I realize that if I want to affect any change in places like Guyana or Venezuela, I have to worry about what's happening here more so. I don't keep track of it as closely. Things like that. So let's see. And it looks a little damaged, but I'm not even going to mention that so much in the 166 pages. And this always gets me. It's 166, and there's a little pull down where you can select the word pages, but you can't select anything else. And then if you forget to do it, it comes back and says, hey, you forgot to select pages. All right, so let's see. Business investing, computers and internet, entertainment, health, mind, body, history, maybe history, Americas, literature and fiction, nonfiction, outdoors and nature, religion and spirituality, sports, teen. I'm going to go with history, Americas. All right, and let's see. We must have left something undone. So if we go into offer, often I find that that's what I forgot. Condition. What is the condition of the book? Used, very good. And what I'm going to put is I have a big, like a big text edit file that I use, and text edit file has just one condition listed after another. So this one says text unmarked, binding and cover clean and tight. I'm going to put, well, first of all, I'm going to back that hyphen up a bit and put somewhere. And not as in somewhere, it's actually W-E-A-R. And at this point, it's ready to go. So I'm going to click Save and Finish. Price is $17. I think that's not bad. Sometimes I kick it up a bit, I kick it down a bit, just depending on what I see moving. And one moment while we process your submission. Self-chiropractic. I recommend that, by the way, while you're doing this. If you so choose to list items on Amazon, to administer self-chiropractic during the actual work. And it is so slow. So slow. Amazon's been slow. My connectivity has been slow. Plus, I'm trying to upload another video on YouTube. Plus, my computer's just been slow. And I've noticed each of those things independent of the others going on, so I don't know what that's about. Just give me a minute here, because it's doing a little swirly thing. Well, I know how this ends. It ends, your listing is now live. Congratulations. So that's what's going to happen in a matter of seconds here. So I'm going to go in and stop the video. And if you have any questions, you can put them in comments. But I'm going to press stop right now.